So one of the things you have to think about when you're trying to manage your power with solar panels is the app will tell you if it's going to be cloudy or not directly over you. So as you can see, it's fairly clear skies. I mean, there's a few whispers of clouds, but if the sun was in this spot over here, we'd be getting lots of sun. But when you go to the south, the sun has been hidden behind the clouds all day. Well, not all day, about 11 o'clock, because that's 10:30, maybe even 10. We decided we were going to do laundry, and since we're going to have full sun all day, well, as soon as I started the well, the clouds rolled in on the south side over there, just barely covering the sun, as you might be able to see. But over here it was clear all day, so definitely a problem. But I think we made it anyways. I checked the charge controllers just a minute ago, and the batteries were fully charged, and the charge controllers had shut off charging. They were at 14.3. That's fully charged, and the amps are going to be come on, 2.5. Well, there's enough sun out there to give us more than 2.5, so that means the charge controllers had shut off. So that's good news. Now, now that it's winter time, I've been really trying to figure all this out. The first thing you have a problem with in the wintertime is your batteries don't hold a charge as good as they do in the summertime. So it's kind of like a reversal thing. In the wintertime or summertime, the panels get hot, and anything over 70 degrees, it starts to lose voltage. So the hotter they get, the less electricity you're making. In the wintertime, you don't have that problem with solar panels. They as soon as you get a little bit of sun, they're off and charging. It's the batteries you have problems with. And as you know, any battery that you use in the cold is dramatically reduced. Your car battery, your phone battery is incredibly reduced when it gets cold. Well, the same thing applies in here. I mean, it's even, somebody's gonna say, well, you need to get lithium-ion batteries, which I'm so sick of hearing, just because, I don't know, because all the other YouTubers do it, you got to do it too. When I've used the same batteries for 7 years, well, we've been here, let's see, we've been using batteries for 9 years. And I don't know if I still have the original 2 batteries that I started with. I'm sure I do. I haven't replaced that many. I think I've only replaced maybe 2 since we've been here. I've added to it, but regardless. So, they're still doing well. Now, I can say that they're dramatically reduced in capabilities, just like lithium batteries would be. How long does your phone battery actually last? A few years? Well, we're here on 9 years, and we're still moving along. And, I don't follow all the rules I'm supposed to. Like I'm supposed to replace all the batteries at the same time. I don't. I replace the bad one. Oh, no, you can't do that. Well, I am doing it. And I'm proving it works. I might, I'm not even sure it's really worth it for me anymore to even worry about it. I might get 2 more batteries. I've thought about it many times. I've never done it, so that tells you how big of a priority it is for me. And but the thing is you got to get back in the mindset that it is wintertime, and the batteries are diminished. So in the wintertime, I run the generator at night. Now, last year, I did pretty good about pouring in just enough gas, which was about 1 quart of gas, on the Power Smart generator, the one that I just replaced with this one. I don't know if you saw it. This one, I could estimate about 1 quart of gas. I could pour it in there and say, oh yeah, that's about 1 quart. And it would last about 3 hours, which is about how long it takes to fill the charged batteries. But I can't seem to hit the mark on this one. I'm going to have to get a quart jar or something, I guess, and fill it up. And then just dump the gas in through with the quart jar. It's about the only thing I can think until I get used to the idea. Because I really have not done well. But I would like to just, you know, start it up before I go to bed with that quart of gasoline and let it run, charge for the 3 hours. That gets me to, let's see, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, about 11:30. And that way I don't ever stress the batteries. But the last few nights, you know, I get up at midnight, and what happens, this is an interesting side effect that can be frustrating, but it has done nothing but help me. The battery charger produces more charge than the inverter allows. So the inverter allows 14.3 volts. Anything over 14.3 volts, it shuts off. The battery charger charges up to 14.4 volts, which isn't harmful. It's just above the shutoff of the inverter. So if the battery charger is charging and it gets up to 14.4 volts, it shuts off the inverter, then I know, hey, I'm done charging because the electric has shut off on us. So I can come down here and shut off the generator. Well, last night, the battery charger at midnight went to 14.4 volts. The inverter shut off. The other thing is my phone will light up. As soon as it loses electricity, it lights up because it's on the charger. So when it lights up, it wakes me up. Then I know, oh, we're done charging. So I came down here and shut off the generator last night. Done that a couple nights in a row now. So I would like to be able to get that quart of gasoline in there. I'm going to work on that a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do it today, but before the winter's up, I'd like to work on it because I don't want to come down here when it's really cold to shut the generator off. I don't know. Maybe I will get a quart jar. It's not that hard. My only concern is I don't want to get dirt in the gas. That is my biggest fear. So then, you know, now I'm introducing another area where I can introduce dirt into the system. So anyway, I know putting a fuel filter on it, I can't. When I put this thing together, I showed you there was just not enough room to get a filter inside this suitcase. It does have one of those filters that slides down into the gas hole, the gas fill hole. It's just a little screen, and that works really well. So I mean, it's not a huge issue if I get dirt in there. I'd just rather not. And now the big problem is in the wintertime when it gets cold, you will notice that the batteries are going bad. And if you're not aware of the thing I told you, or what did I say, the batteries going bad, you start to see that the batteries are depleting more than they were in the summertime. So you begin to believe that the batteries are bad. So you come down at 8 o'clock at night, and the battery's got, you know, 12.5, 12.6 volts, and then you're thinking, oh man, that's great, I'm gonna make it all the way through the night. But then in the wintertime, it's at 12.3 volts. And you're like, man, I'm not gonna make it through the night. I know somebody's gonna argue with this because I have no scientific proof that this is correct. It's just my experience, and I'm not allowed to have any experience on this channel, even though I've been doing this for 9 years. My experience is worthless because they read it, and some other YouTuber who has done this for a week knows much more than I do. But here goes my experience. My experience says that 12.6 in the summer and 12.3 in the winter is basically the same reading. When you are reading the battery, the voltage of the battery, it's the same thing. In the wintertime, the 12.6 means you got a good charge, or excuse me, in the summertime, 12.6 means you got a good charge, and you will make it through the night. That's my experience. And when you get up in the morning, you'll be about 12.3, 12.2. 12.2 is a little low, but now these are older batteries, so you know, over time that number has decreased. I never let it get below 12.3 in the past, but now I'm learning really that's not a big deal, especially with these old batteries. But in the wintertime, you'll come down here till 8:30 at night, and it's 12.3, and you're like, boy, I should charge the batteries. But there have been a few times that I just forgot because, you know, you got that transition between winter or summer and fall, and you just forget. Well, you know, when you wake up next morning that you forgot to charge batteries, it was probably at 12.3. So you run down here and you see it's at, well, it's at 12 or 11.9, which 11.9 is supposed to be catastrophic. And I'm still doing good. The other day, I forget what we were doing, but I used way too much electric. I don't remember what I was doing. And it caught me off guard. And we were at 11.5 before it shut off. And it was like, okay, that's way low. So if I kind of do the math, kind of, you know, if low would have shut off, let's say 12, 11.9 or 12, let's say 11.9, and now it's shutting off 11.4, you know, that's 0.4 volts difference in the winter and summer. So again, it's just my experience. I'm not telling you to do it because, you know, I'm not wanting you to lose your, you know, spend money on batteries, $100 a piece at Walmart. Oh, I know you can't buy Walmart batteries. Oh, what are you talking about? But I do. And, you know, I don't want you to spend that $100 and then mess up your battery. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm just saying my experience, my comfort level, and it's something that you're going to have to get used to. Or here's the thing. You got to charge batteries every day. That's the thing about lead acid batteries. You cannot skip a day. Yeah, I think you got to get your batteries up to 13.6 volts every day, no matter what. Otherwise, they start to salsify or whatever they call that. And if you charge it, it breaks up that crystals that get onto the plates, and you want to keep those crystals from formulating. So if you charge it every day, you won't run into that problem. And I think that's more important than draining your batteries too low. Although that is damaging, you know, the gurus on the Nomads used to talk about never get your batteries below 12.3. Well, like I said, these batteries are 9 years old, and I've gotten it below 12.3 more times than I'd like to admit. I hate that I have, but it just happens. And they're still going strong. The thing that I have done, though, is I've charged them every day. When we were Nomads, I charged them twice a day. Once in the morning with the generator, once in the evening. When we got here, we either charge it with solar panels or we charge it with the battery. Every day. And we always get above 13.6. And I still have batteries after all this time. And, you know, I'm not supposed to have these batteries. I mean, these batteries are getting to the point where they're 10 years old. Now, they say that the life expectancy of a good battle-worn lithium-ion battery, at least that's what they used to say. I don't know what they say anymore because I just don't care. It's 10 years. Well, this is coming up on 10 years, and I don't see any failures in the near future. I don't predict them. I mean, I might get a bad battery every now and then. Last bad battery I had, it was my fault. I was pulling energy for the well from one battery instead of spreading it out through the whole battery bank. And that one battery is the one that went bad. So it wasn't from charging or not charging or anything. It was just that I was stressing that one battery way too much. That was my fault. So even that one, we can't say it was from age. It was from abuse. I just abused it. So, I don't know. That's just a little bit of education or experience or whatever you want to call it from my perspective. So, if you want to click this up next box to take you a video over my other channel, I would really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you, I don't know, gain some experience so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.